You know, I have communicated with one U.S. president and with the second and with the third. Presidents come and go, but the politics remain the same. Do you know why that is? Do you believe United States is a democracy? In America, the bureaucracy has a lot of power. A person is elected in America and he comes with his ideas. Then people with briefcases come to visit him, well-dressed in dark suits, kind of like mine, except instead of a red tie, it's black or navy. In Hindi, you cannot trick them because their philosophy is so long. We are simple people. We say what we think. Well, you are asking me questions that I can't answer. I am not President Xi. I'm the President of Russian Federation. Secondly, as far as I understand, the Chinese philosophy, regarding the philosophy of statehood and state management, it does not include use of force. Traditional Islam today is an inherent part of our country's spiritual life. Its human values, as well as the values of our other traditional religions, teach people about mercy, justice, and taking care of the loved ones. Therefore, it is well known that international security comprises much more than issues relating to military and political stability. This universal, indivisible character of security is expressed as the basic principle that security for one is security for all.
You ask me, who am I? Friend or foe? Relations between states are not built in quite the same manner as they are between people. I'm not your friend, I'm not your bride, or your groom. I am the President of the Russian Federation. 146 million people who have certain national interests, it is my job to protect those interests. I will do so in a non-confrontational manner, based on mutual respect and understanding of international law.
And just like any war, the Cold War left us with live ammunition, figuratively speaking. Only 2 decades ago, the world was ideologically and economically divided, and it was the huge strategic potential of 2 superpowers that ensured global security. The unipolar world that has been proposed after the Cold War did not take place either. The history of humanity has certainly gone through unipolar periods and seen aspirations to world supremacy. What is a unipolar world? At the end of the day, it refers to one type of situation, namely one center of authority, one center of force, one center of decision-making. It is a world in which there is one master, one sovereign, and at the end of the day, this is pernicious, not only for all those within the system, but also for the sovereign itself, because it destroys itself from within. Let me start with Russia's security, because for me, that's the priority. In response to our constant, persistent proposals to develop contacts and relations with countries of the Western world, they always tried to put us in our place. I can tell you that for sure. On the surface, it was all very friendly, but in fact, they always tried to put us in our place. And from this place, Russia would have ended up being reduced to the status of a second-class state, whose sole function is supplier of raw materials, resulting to a large extent in the loss of our country's sovereignty. Russia cannot exist if it loses its sovereignty. That's the key point. With the kind of partners we have in BRICS, who respect Russia's independence, respect our traditions, and whom we treat likewise.
Speaking of the security guarantees and what it will depend upon, or if something will depend upon the negotiations, our actions will not depend on the negotiation, they will depend on the unconditional compliance with the Russian security. And in this sense, we have made it clear that any further NATO movement to the east is unacceptable. There is nothing unclear about this. We are not deploying our missiles at the border of the US. On the other hand, the US is deploying its missiles close to our home, and on the porch of our house. So, are we demanding something excessive? We are simply asking them not to deploy their attack systems at our home. So, what would the Americans think if we, for example, decide to come to the border, between, say, Canada and the United States, or Mexico, and simply deploy our missiles over there?
Конечно.
Of course we can have discussions on 2016 US elections. Not only can we, but it seems if this particular subject continues to trouble you, we actually should talk about it. Why have you decided the Russian authority gave anybody permission to do this? No, we don't have that kind of programs with Iran. It's just nonsense. We have cooperation plans with Iran including military and technical cooperation, and all of these face the framework of the decisions that were agreed upon in our program in the context of the UN decisions. Together with our partners in the preparation of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Actions, whereby some point sanctions, including in the area of military and technical cooperation, should be lifted from Iran. We do have certain programs with Iran, but they all concern conventional weapons. However, we haven't yet gone to that stage of satellite sharing. What interested me, from the recent NATO summit, is that they stated that they wished to improve relations with Russia. Why then increase the defense budget? Who are you going to war against?